Hello. Hello. Hi, Anya.
Hello. Let me see if there we go. Hello.
And I see Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Sorry, guys.
This is Yasmin.
Hi, Yasmin. I usually get on earlier, and I was on a roll with a resource I'm doing. So, and I suddenly went, oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I feel you. It happens to me all the time.
Agreed.
Hey, Trey.
Hi.
Hey.
All right. I was also getting the websites open.
Excellent. That's so helpful, Trace.
Well, we'll see. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm just on phone. I'm not on the computer because I'm on the way to get Aiden to get up from school.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, so you are.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm joining a little bit late. This is Kathy Powell with Poppin in Florida.
Hi.
So,
I'm sorry, could you say your full name again? I'm having
sure.
trouble with the audio.
Kathy Powell.
Oh, Kathy, hi.
Yes. With Parents of the Panhandle Information Network, North Florida.
North Florida, right. For those of us who don't have an intrinsic understanding of Florida's map, that's actually yeah.
Hi guys, it's LaJoy. Hi everybody.
Hi, Joy.
Hi you guys.
Okay.
How are y'all?
Good. Busy.
I was gonna say we're PTIs. We stay busy. There's no rest for the weary. There's no rest in special education.
Nope, doesn't stop.
No.
If you're new to the group or you haven't been for a while, I will let you know that we've got a part at the beginning of the session where we'll all go around and introduce ourselves, and we can. And Shirley is using the chat box right now, I think. Let you know, Shirley, that Shirley, I think, is going to try to sign back in. Sometimes that helps. So we usually give it a few minutes, but we're on a tight schedule today. So I'm going to start with the round robin of introductions, and we'll go around the way I usually do it, which is I will start with the people that I can see on my screen, and then we'll make sure we haven't left anybody out calling in. And immediately to my left is Tracy, who I see is muted. There she is.
Hi all. Happy Wednesday in August. Tracy with Pain, Barb's sidekick. I actually fit in the sidecar, so there you are. And I'm out here in the state of Washington. We have a PTI here as well, and good to be all with you, and I'll always love working with the branch, which is what we do this day.
Oh, well, that's really cool. Okay, and I'm Barb Kumjian. I am Tracy's, what is the opposite of a sidekick, Tracy?
You're the driver. Mm-hmm. You're the driver.
Okay, I'm the driver. I'm the one making the motorcycle weave all over the road. And Military Parent Technical Assistance Center. We work at a PAVE in Washington State. I, on the other hand, am an extremely remote person as I work out of my home in Vermont now. And next on the list, I see Anya Fredrickson. You want to introduce yourself with your parent center and your center's any recent work or outreach with military families?
Hello. Yeah, I'm Anya Fredrickson. I'm at the Peel Center in Pennsylvania. I am their communications and data manager. We have not really done much since we met a couple months ago, but we are excited to try to get back into it and figure out a strategy now that things have mellowed out a little bit with us.
Awesome. Yes, well, I think Barbie Saunders was on last time. She also attended the Region A kickoff meeting that you were also at, and it's that she personally is exploring some opportunities with veterans. So, you know, that's military connected too, definitely.
Yeah.
Next, I have Peggy, who is also muted.
Hold on. Yep, sorry about that. I got a lot of background here.
Oh, hi, Peggy.
Hi. Peg Kinsel. I'm at SPAN in New Jersey. And I also direct the Military Family Support 360 project, which is embedded at the EFMP at Joint Base Warren Dix Lakers.
All right. Well, it's good to have you on the call. Next, I have Kathy Powell. Kathy?
Hello. So I am in the North Florida region. We have many military installations, Navy, Air Force. I'm excited that we snapped up Ginger Manley, who actually does a lot of stomp presentations throughout the nation. She's going to be working part-time for us. And she's making connections with the liaisons through the EFMPs with Corey, Air Force, and Tyndall. And she resides in Pensacola, so she will be focused on that Panhandle area. But we're excited to start workshop series with the parent liaisons, and they're very receptive and very excited to be working with us.
Wow. All right. And next I have Mai. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Nice. My name is Mai Hall. I'm from the Maryland PTI, the Parents Place of Maryland, and I work with Heather Luke.
All right.
So I'm like Heather's mini-me.
The sidekick, eh?
Yeah, so I also work with military families because I'm a military spouse myself, but I mostly handle our early childhood families.
Oh, well, that'll be a wonderful, fresh perspective for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of our folks are more involved with K-12, so so that's going to be awesome. I may be picking your brains now that
Absolutely.
And I see Barbara Saunders is on the line. Barbie, we're doing our introductions. She may not have found her mic yet.
Oh, hi. Are y'all waiting for me to talk?
Hello, Barbie.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I was late.
No problem. Just drop in. You can drop in anytime. If you could just introduce what you know, who you are, what center you're with, what you're doing for those people that haven't previously been on a call with you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am with the Peel Center, the Philadelphia office, because I see that I is on in Pittsburgh. And this is my second go-to meeting as a follow-up to the conference that we did back in June. I think were we in Philly in June?
Yeah, it feels like yesterday, but it was June, yes.
Yeah, so this is my second time on the go-to call. And just to get more information so that we could continue our efforts at Peel to reach out to military families.
All right. Next I have Yasmin.
Hello, I'm Yasmin Butler. I am the program director for STOMP, Specialized Training Military Parents. Kathy said that they have one of our STOMP instructors, Ginger, is PTI to pop in, so that's great. She'll be a great resource on both ends, so that's great. And she's actually away at Peterson for the next couple of days. At Peterson Air Force Base doing a workshop. So we're currently finishing up the last of this contract with the Army, Navy, Air Force, and in the midst of the new one, and hoping to do more work in collaboration with the parent centers. It's been a great resource and opportunity for us. So hope that we can continue.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yasmin and I have been busy together this summer. We're going to hopefully tell you all about it. All right. LaJoy.
Hi, Barb. Hi, everybody. My name is LaJoy. Hi, you guys. My name is LaJoy, and I work at Advocates for Justice and Education, the DCPTI. I am the intake specialist, and I have actually a lot to report out. I went to the Region A conference, had a great time, learned so much information, and since then been on 2 calls. And recently, I went to a EFMP military resource fair here in the district, the Joint Base location in Anacostia, and I got to meet some liaisons. I got to meet some other different like vendors to see what they're doing and how we can partner, and just meeting the different EFMPs for all the different military branches. And so made some good contacts and made a folder to share with everybody, so that way when we so that way when we start helping our families, we all have a quick guide to kind of like, where's the quick reference guide, or whose contact information do I need? It's all in one spot. And so I'm just really excited to expand on what we're doing.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And maybe at some point you, when you're comfortable as to how that is working, you could share that little tool with us, your quick guide, and see how it's working with y'all. And
absolutely.
Yeah, we've got one more person that just joined the call, area code 719. I don't get a name when you call in.
It's Shirley Swope from Colorado.
Oh, hi, Shirley. I'm sorry that your technology is not fine today.
Well, the good news, this is like the last day for this computer, so I'm getting a new computer, and that's the good news.
Wow, that is wonderful. And is it all right if I say not before time?
Right.
All right. Oh, it's wonderful to have everyone here. I want to let everybody know that we're going to jump right in, because last time we met, we talked about sharing all of our cool stuff, our websites, anything that we've been doing in work with military families. If you have a military-friendly section of your website. And Tracy, who is far more than a sidekick, she's more like a magic elf that does all the work in the background. I'm just saying, magic woman, there you go. She has shared her screen, and the first thing up is all the wonderful links for our upcoming STOMP trainings in September and October and onward. And we will send you the link for that in our program notes, so that you will have it again. And so everybody that is not only on the call, but who is also on our email will have it again. And then we thought we'd go around the group and see who would like to show us or share anything on their site that might be related to military families. So if you are looking at Tracy's screen, can everybody see it? It should have a bunch of tabs at the top with the names of your parent centers. Can everybody see that?
It's up here at the top, and I'm trying to do my best to click on y'all when you've been checking in. So, I may not have everybody, so I'm keeping the main tab of SIPR, Find Your Parent Center, open so I can click on you all. But I have Peak Peel. So I've got a number of Poppins up. Parent Place of Maryland, SPAN. So I've got a variety. I don't know that I have everybody, but if, again, you wanted to highlight anything that you have on your websites or talk about it, that's one of the things that we've been chatting about, along with the form we've been using. So, Barb, if I can also go grab that too, if you'd like.
The form, and you hang on for a minute. LaJoy just sent me a notification. Let me get in there. We have many, many screens.
While we're waiting for that, Yasmin, do you want to say anything about the upcoming? You got Georgia, Kentucky, Arkansas, Arizona, none of these folks, Maryland's down the list in November, Louisiana, and Virginia.
Oh, LaJoy is just saying she's got to leave a little early, not a problem. And as we're going by the different websites, Peggy, did you want to share anything about SPAN, or maybe share anything that's on the Military 360 there?
It's Peg. Maybe maybe a little later I can, because I'm gonna have to mute myself and unmute myself quickly because of the background here.
Oh, I get it, totally. Is there a place on, you know, it's been a while since I looked at SPAN's website. Is Military 360 highlighted on SPAN's website that we can just show people?
I have to check because we redid this and I don't know what's up yet. Solid or not. I will send something.
Excellent, excellent. That'll be great. All right. How about Pop-In? What, Kathy, do you have anything to share about what Pop-In and the FND centers have?
Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't know that we have anything military specific, but I'm happy to share some of our resources that, of course, would help any family. Is that what you were looking for?
Well, I think possibly I'd like to see, we would all like to see if there are any areas that military families are finding particularly helpful when they go to your site. If, Tracy, if you go to the FND tab, no, yeah.
Resources to the right. There you go. And down to tip sheets. And then English. Well, actually, you can scroll down. They come in all different languages, and those are the different topics. So if you want to click on one of them, go ahead, and the top 10 IEP acronyms.
That's really pretty amazing. I don't.
And so obviously these are not printable, but they fit nicely with on your phone. So you can, it expands the size of your phone so you can see the information.
I think it's cool that you have a resource on natural supports in rural communities.
Mm-hmm.
Is that as you were going through?
Yeah, and that's definitely our population in a lot of the smaller counties in Northwest Florida.
Mm-hmm. And I also think it's awesome that you have so many of your resources translated into these different languages. I know that in the military, at least, you know, Spanish is pretty common. I don't know about Russian, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole, but, you know, definitely English and Spanish are the two big language groups in our military, so that's pretty amazing. Is there any, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, you know, our group has been working on a sort of a resource that's could be like a handout or a template for a website or whatever. We're going to be sharing that again. We kind of decided at the last meeting that it was pretty well ready to roll. And the branch is going to be sharing it with some groups in some regions in the country, where we're going to be hoping that people will use it as the basis for a website template that will direct military families specifically to an area where they can learn all about state resources. So
I could see us creating a landing page just for military families.
Yeah.
And putting that resource on there, definitely.
Yeah. No, this is pretty interesting. Anybody else on the call? Has anybody else started or seen any stuff on their website that's military family specific or of specific help for military families that you can think of? I just like that title on the Peel website.
Thank you. We haven't done much now, but we're definitely, after this call got scheduled and our executive director saw it, she said we need to revisit sort of what our next steps are. So hopefully soon we will have stuff to report.
Well, and I realized that, just saying, okay, make a new web page for military families, that's very easy to say, but it's a lot of work. So.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can see that when, if anybody has anything on their website that has information that's specific about your state, I'm sure that that's something that military families might find of interest just because of their sort of, constant moving in and out from one state to the next. That would be one of the things they look for.
This is Tina from Delaware.
Hi, Tina.
Hi. We have a tool. Hi.
I was just.
We have a toolkit on our website.
All right. Tina is PIC up there, Tracy. She's third from the right.
Oh, yay.
Right.
Yeah, if you go to our resources and then under toolkit. No, we're not PPMD. We are PIC, PIC.
Yep.
Where did you say 3?
Over to the right on your screen.
Oh, you went 3 to the right. I was going 3 this way. Gotcha. Sorry.
All right.
So if you go under resources and then under toolkits, resources for military families, it's right at the top there.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Fact sheets.
Right there, under resources by topics.
Oh, thank you. And then what am I doing?
Up at the top.
Oh, yeah, top.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
That's what I still gotta read. Look at you guys. Way to go,
All
Tina.
right. Yay, PIC.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Yeah, and we yesterday we had our staff retreat, and we had our school liaison officer and our EMFP director at our training to talk to our staff about military families and what they do and what we can do together.
And I see you've got a courses already loaded up. Way to go.
Yeah.
School transition plans for, oh yeah, very timely. It's almost September.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see the worksheet that the one-pager front and back to help welcome military-connected families. It'll be interesting to see where we all place it, right? Because I think we're going to get good ideas from each other. Is it a homepage thing? Is it like, underneath another resource tab? I think that's going to be excellent. But bottom line, once it's loaded and those tag lines are there, it'll be searchable. So this is great pictures, very lovely.
Yeah. And
okay.
Yeah, these are.
Oh, okay. And we're committed to sharing the information from the base. They are having, like today, they're having their town hall meeting that they have every month. So we're going to share their events and trainings and everything on our page.
Oh, Collaboration City. Oh, that is awesome. Your POC is going to be a poster child for military parent-centered collaboration. I can tell. We're all going so strong, and this is so wonderful, ladies. Maya, I was wondering if there's anything on the PPMD site that military families find particularly useful.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, I'm sure they do use it, just nothing particular target.
Yeah, so right now we don't have a military-only section, but Heather is working toward, during the summer when it's kind of slow over here, she's working on building about 10 fact sheets and websites and links to have our own resource section for military families. So if you look at
that is just wonderful.
Yeah, so we're finally going to get our own section up there.
I hope she's been getting our emails and that you'll be able to use the resource that this group has been working on too.
Yeah, so I like this page. It's the pick from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely some good examples to look at.
Yeah, make your notes.
I'll circulate everybody's links and, you know, that page again from North Carolina that was
good.
They came forward with like the visuals, but of course we all can do whatever makes sense for our websites and how we want to post it. And then it'll be exciting, you know, in the next September meeting that potentially we could take another tour and keep getting ideas from each other. And then what we're hearing back from military families, because then if we all share the input, then we're all going to just continuously improve.
Amazing. I see that Ms. Rivera has joined us. Would you like to introduce yourself to the group? Hello? You're still muted. No? Ah, yes. Well, moving right along. Hopefully, whoever's there is going to be able to chime in. So, I think this is awesome. Does anybody have any photographs or anything that they want to share with the group that has to do with any recent events or trainings you've done with military families?
This is Kathy. One thing that we noticed was that Florida does not have, well, readily, it might be deep in their website, they don't have a good infograph showing timeline for Florida specific for evaluations and that. And so we're going to work to creating a visual for Florida and including that I think would be a good one to put on our landing page. That would be a good go-to.
Mm-hmm. Is there something particularly idiosyncratic about Florida's timeline? Because boy, this group has learned a lot about state variations. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't know yet compared to all of them. I just know that I don't want to assume that they are following all of the federal timelines. So I want to make sure and contact the parent liaison and verify.
All right.
And Kathy, I don't know if you know, but Yasmin is actually in Orlando. Not to call her out and tell you where her location is in the world.
Yeah, I'm in Orlando.
Just so you can find her.
So y'all on the southeast and the northeast quarter know of that resources on your time zone.
Great.
Like Barb.
Well, I don't know if anyone wants to brave rural Vermont to find me. They are welcome. They are always welcome. I'll take
Yasmin, have you found anything like a timeline in your search yet, or have you started creating anything?
No, not for Florida. I know, like when instructors, when they go on their workshops, you know, we go over federal guidelines, all in well knowing that there are some states that, you know, they're tweaked a little differently. That's why we always like to have, if possible, a parent center staff at the workshops to kind of go over very state specific. But that is a common question that comes about in workshops as far as, oh, I didn't know there was that was the timeline. And we get that question more from like the ESMP So with families coming to them asking and they didn't even realize, oh, it was 60 days, or the family's been way past. There should have been a evaluation IEP meeting, and they've taken off with the IEP, however, whatever the plan was, and had no idea they were way past the timeline. One of my thoughts, just hearing you guys talk about your website, anything that's linked specifically to military, I kind of have like a aha moment, I guess, really. I think that if possible, the parent center staff, like having almost like a professional day, kind of workshop, maybe not a whole day, maybe a few hours, where you just kind of have like a training day with the EF&P and flows type of thing, because the EF&Ps, they're a lot of times they're military spouses, so they're moving just as much. So I've worked with the EF&P, and 3 months later they're gone, and I have a whole nother EF&P that I'm working with and arranging stuff, and they're brand new to everything. Mm-hmm. So sometimes that may be a really good idea. I did maybe have it once a quarter or once every 6 months. I don't know, but just kind of like this is who we are. This is how we can work together, and just kind of like let them know these are some of the nuances of the state. So when you have a family come and specifically ask these questions, here are some of like the go-tos or should know if a family comes and asks, specifically timeline. So.
Are there any other topics that we could list somewhere that we could keep in mind when we're researching for our state specific?
Barb, can you put up the North Carolina? Just because I'd have to go through a whole bunch of emails to get at it, and then you could share your screen, because I think that might help Kathy see like some of the things that North Carolina chose. It's not identical, but we did have some baseline that this group for a few months were thinking about. Here are the basic topics, just as an intro. There will be different ones in different states, but bottom line, this group kind of churned over some basic topics. Do you have that, Barb, available?
I do. I have to get back into the.
Okay, so we'll let you do that, and then you'll share your screen. But the other thing that I'm hearing, Yasmin and Kathy, in this conversation with everybody else's input and thoughts, is that now that one pager front and back is also a very useful tool to email to EF&P and school liaisons.
Right.
And say, hi, just, we are developing this. Do you have any input? Do you think that all the content here is useful? Again, just like the whole stress of this was, it's a kind of quote unquote one pager that could go on for pages. And the aha moment was, what's the core stuff when you're coming in and out of our states? How do you find the names? What are the names of, the different offices or the links to them? And, do they call things, in early intervention? Do they have ICCs? What's the code word for how do you go to your local, early intervention meeting? I mean, where is that listed? So those kinds of basic things were there, as well as the special education and any kinds of other links. So Barb will share the screen whenever that's available. But man, That was a huge aha that we could just be emailing the EF&Ps and school liaison officers of the various installations, including National Guard and Reserve. So go back to those maps on the branch website to find those folks or update those lists, right?
Okay, people, you should have just seen a change in your screen. And in just a minute, I am going to have Can everybody see Military Families Welcome to North Carolina?
Yes.
Excellent. Hold on a minute. I'm going to have to move it just so I can get my controls back. I have two screens and I feel like I need about 14 hands here. So this is the resource that the group's been working on for several months. And so is everybody able to see that now?
Yes, I see it.
Great. So
they're on the phone. You can't see it, but it does say welcome.
It's kind of small. Okay, let's see if we can't get it bigger. Huh.
If you bump the down here, Barb, it'll come up. down on that right-hand corner, you're at 139% on the bar. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the easiest.
All righty.
Oh my God, that's ginormous.
That is ginormous. 300 it's like very granular. Okay, how's that?
So for the folks on the phone, just a general reminder, like the main opening section besides the welcome is the general education information, then special education information. And then in the right-hand kind of corner, North Carolina is introducing themselves and their contact information.
Right. And as we scroll down, we can see details about special ed, also specific to the state. Then this is something that we particularly liked when we were brainstorming this. And this is something that can,
It's a section called Some Questions You Can Ask, ECAC.
Right. How can I be sure my child's receiving comparable services? Who should I talk to if I'm not satisfied with the child's IEP? How does reevaluation work when we've moved from another state? Graduation requirement questions, just to give parents who are completely unfamiliar with Parent Center's ideas about, what they can turn to the Parent Center for. Again, and this is the genius of this layout, is it just keeps repeating the Parent Center contact information. And then, these were the goodies, North Carolina may differ from other states in these areas. Now, it may not, but these were the areas we found some real issues. The birth to 3, preschool, the evaluation timeline, there you are. Reevaluations, eligibility categories for special education. Some dispute resolutions, who is in charge of things like assignments, promotions, and retentions. The state has its own standardized IEP form. Eligibility worksheets, which I don't know that even each state has. Some unique policy issues and some terms about different kinds of standards and policies in the state. So it's a 2-pager.
So is the eligibility worksheet what I was looking for, the timeline? Do you mind clicking on it?
Okay, let's see what they've got here. Was it the timeline one you wanted specifically?
You had said eligibility worksheet. I wasn't sure if that was.
Oh, yeah. Well, the eligibility worksheet is, I'm not sure that that's going to go because of the way I'm sharing this screen. Let's see. No, it doesn't seem to be live in this. Oh, let's see if I can get it. So, yes, this is an eligibility worksheet for different categories of disability that's state specific, and it sends you to something on the, and it's not going to open up, I'm sorry. It's the way that this has been loaded, but it sends you to the public, the State Board of Education website in North Carolina, where you can open up, hopefully, the document. The way they've opened up this document, loaded this document, it's not gonna open in this particular, I don't think. You can try it. Nope. See, it keeps wanting to save it in my form.
Okay, well, don't worry. I just was curious. I mean,
Yeah,
we're hearing it at Stomp when we are invited to co-present all the time. We just thought it'd be nice to have a real cool visual.
Yeah, I think you're definitely. Anyway, so that's kind of what we've been working on, and I think it's pretty cool, and we'll be sending the link out again, the document version again that was done by the North Carolina Parent Center, so that everybody can play around with it. And later, the branch is going to be disseminating it so that everybody can have a chance to tweak it and work with it and do good things with it.
Hi, can you show us how to find that 2-pager again?
We'll be sending it to you directly.
Okay, Got it. Thanks.
And it's actually, it should be, at least was sent out directly after the last meeting to everyone on the mailing list. So it should be in your email. We'll send it today, and it is in your email previously as well. But you
Okay.
want to dig a month back. I wouldn't.
So I know you have on the agenda, Barb, MSEC, and we're getting close to about a quarter of, but did anybody else have any other trainings or things or questions on their mind? Because we're a cohort to ourselves, sharing our own expertise and information with one another. Does anybody have anything that's on their mind? And this is all good. I mean, it'll be great to share this out and keep working on this, because I know we're all in that process. And thank you, Tina. We'll also include your website.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I would only add, it's Peg, I would only add that if you're creating a resource sheet for military families, and especially if you advocate or your PTI is dealing with kids that have special health care needs, having local Medicaid information, waiver programs, and those kind of things are really critical, because they also change state by state.
That's a great reminder, Peg. I agree with you on that.
Great addition. So we'll put that in the notes, and then folks.
I have a big star next to it on my piece of paper, so that has been duly noted. That is absolutely correct. Does anyone else have any burning questions, sticky situations, great ideas, or just interesting tidbits that you'd like to share?
This is Shirley in Colorado. I've been listening and can't wait for my new computer to come. But tomorrow I'm at STOMP at Peterson Air Force Base. So they're having a 2-day STOMP convention meeting, whatever, training there. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shirley, for doing it.
Well, it's always fun to get out of the office and go meet new people. And I really like the EFMP folks at Peterson Air Force Base. They're real sweet people.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Always good to hear, especially when they're around long enough to have those good relationships, because, you know, again, as personnel, we all know they get moved around quite a bit. So that's really wonderful.
It is.
So Shirley, you also go out to Carson, is that right? You go out to Fort Carson sometimes?
Fort Carson, yeah. Colorado Springs has 5 bases.
Right.
So,
kind of
anyway,
keeps you hopping. When I was at the MSEC National Training Seminar in July with Yasmin, I got to meet a couple of the students from one of the high schools out there that were in the student-to-student program. It's kind of like a welcoming and leadership program. And just wanted to say that they were pretty happy overall with their military life, and they were giving pretty good explanations of some of the challenges that go with that lifestyle. So Colorado was well represented out there.
Oh, good.
So if Yasmin and I were hoping to share a little bit about our experience at the MSEC National Training Seminar. Is anyone else on the call familiar with the Military Child Education Coalition? I know, Tina, that your website had a link to their resources. They are a private nonprofit. They get funding from all over. Some of it's from Department of Defense, but a great many private philanthropies and companies support them. They are all about education for military kids and supporting military kids in their unique situations as they move around and being around the world and around the country from school to school to school. They do not have a great deal of depth or expertise in the area of special education. They do have some resources, and they do work with some partners that are developing some pretty significant resources for families, military families who have kids with special needs. One of those partners is Sesame Workshop, the foundation that produces Sesame Street and all of Sesame Street's permutations and so forth and so on. And over here, I have a picture of a bunch of us from PAVE. Is anybody able to, can we all see the picture on my screen with the Muppet? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. You can see my smiling face, and there's Yasmin, and this over here is Jen Cole, who's sometimes on the call. She's our PTI director. And this is Julia. Julia is a Sesame Street Muppet. She is an individual with autism, and she was pretty tickled to find that the branch website has a set of resources that Sesame Street has that relate to military families and military families who have kids who have special needs. And they are on our website, and I'll be glad to send you those links after the meeting as well. But Yasmin and I were specifically at this conference, which is a big training conference for school liaisons, EFMP staff, and educators who work with military kids. And this big organization sponsors it, and all kinds of people come and give presentations. And they also have what they call an expo center, which is like a resource fair on steroids. And you can see in the background, we had a big poster, and Yasmin made a video, which was really wonderful. And we also had our various websites up and running to show people what we were doing. And what we were highlighting is the connection between STOMP and the parent centers and the branch. Just like Shirley is going out to Peterson Air Force Base, STOMP and the branch have been inviting parent centers, as many of you know, to the various installations for the past, I guess, 4 or more years to co-present trainings to military families. And then if that parent center didn't previously have an ongoing relationship with that installation, it's a great opportunity for them to tag in and develop that relationship as they are right there during the training, because the installation professionals come to that. So Yasmin, did you want to share a little bit more about our experiences there and some of the people we met?
I mean, it was a great it was my first time attending. It was a great opportunity to, number one, meet a lot of the EFMPs that I've had conversations with over the phone. So that was really nice. And then, you know, just during the poster session, we got really good property as far as where we were placed. So we were lucky enough, like, number one, we were over by the food and by the bathroom as well. So, you know, people had to pass us always, but people were familiar. Most people were familiar, then the ones that weren't kind of heard, but not really sure. And then being able to place STOMP, branch, and the parent centers and see how we partner with each other, or collaborate with each other. People were really like, oh, okay, it makes sense, and, you know, understanding the reasons why and what the benefits were for it. So that was really good, and you know, just making the connections with the EFMPs, and it was a really good experience. And I've said it before, I had a little time to reflect after the conference and just realized this in the last few years, the partnership and the collaboration that we've been doing with the different parent centers, we've been, since 2015, we've been able to co-present with at least 20 different times, over 20 different times with Parent Center. So that's been really good in trying to create that connection with our military families. So that's been really good and really helpful and needed, clearly needed. So we're always appreciative.
Yeah, the conference was wonderful. One of the sort of like, it's a tiny little world things that often happens at conferences happened when we met this lady who is sort of kitty corner in this photograph. I don't know if you can all see her. Her name is Dr. Kelly Blasco. She's I forget her exact title. She's fairly high up in the Defense Health Agency.
I think you have it right there, but you have
I do. It just says Defense Health Agency. If I scroll down, it might say what she is. Yes. No, it doesn't say what her exact title is. I'm sorry. Anyway.
She's a psychologist.
Pardon me?
She's a psychologist for
yeah, she's not an MD.
integration.
Yeah, she's a psychologist. She works for the part of the defense agency that's called the Center for Psychological Health Excellence, or a similar title. And her program is in charge of on the DoD side, she's in charge of the whole partnership with Sesame Street. So that's why she's standing there. She came with Julia, and we found out as we chatted with her that she actually works out in Washington State at Madigan Medical Center at Joint Base Lewis McChord. At one of those, sort of like Old Home Week, Tiny Little World sessions. But she was particularly excited to see the branch sharing the Sesame Street resources with parent centers who could either use them themselves or share them with military families. And one of the things she mentioned on the side is that Sesame Street and her program are always looking for feedback. So one of the things that we might do as a group going forward, if you want to spend some, sort of like fun time with Muppets, we might take a look at some of these resources in the future and think about ways that they could be either tweaked for more useful parent center use, or ways that you could see that might be more helpful for military families whose children have special needs. So that would be something I think we would be uniquely poised to give feedback on that might reach families everywhere, military families everywhere. That would be really powerful. Just a thought. It'd be cool. So, Tracy, I've got 6 screens up. Do you have the agenda anywhere? I feel
I do, but again, you don't have to switch to the screen. I think the last thing was the MSEC, and then anything else on anybody's mind.
Okay.
We're also looking for any additional ideas to inform military-connected families and installation personnel about parent centers in the other states and territories. So I think that, the inroads that were made at the MSEC, and just for a point of reference for those that had staff coming from their parent centers or were the staff that were across town at Crystal City during the OSEP Leadership Conference, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, MSEC started, so the Military Coalition Conference started on the Wednesday and went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the very same week we were all in DC. So, for those of us that didn't have to jet out, like myself and Jen, we popped over across town because our flights didn't leave till that evening, and were able to spend some time. Again, the MSEC conference is pretty pricey. I think it's about a $500 plus, right, you guys, registration. We got a discount because of the expo. The other element that we made connections with also is a CEO of their quote-unquote bookstore, and they want some help with art from military youth around the country. And they have some pretty dense connections in, say, Virginia, North Carolina, Puerto Rico, but they don't have representation from across. So they'd love to have that kind of collaboration with us. So if we were to help with our children, the military children that we have in our midst, with their art contest, they then displayed that all over, which was really great to look at. And it, told the story of what it's like to be a military child moving around, or what the military means to them, and just great, and all ages. So that was
I know, and the pictures range from hysterically hilarious to deeply moving, and sometimes at the same time.
Yeah.
They're
So we'll
just
send that link out too, because that might be a real sweet way for us to get the children that we're supporting to be connected. Just another way for parent centers to tie back in and allow children to express themselves with their art.
yeah, and if in some way when we do that thing, we can get some feedback on the artwork and have it displayed online in some way, or in possibly at regional conferences or something, that could be a wonderful opportunity for the kids to be validated and support their work and their well-being. I just kids' artwork, my refrigerator's plastered with it. So, yeah. So I see that it is quickly approaching 12:55 Pacific time, and I think I'll just throw the floor open and say if anybody has any last-minute thoughts, questions, or ideas for our next meeting.
This is Kathy. Other than just looking at everybody else's websites to get ideas of, making sure I don't miss resources, if you have those PTIs that have already started adding things and sharing those links, that would be helpful.
Excellent. Yes, I think that's something we can continue to do, as those of us who are working on that keep making things even more interesting on our websites. That's a good idea. Anybody else have anything that's particularly on their mind coming up in the next couple months, things that they want to be working on, or things that they would like us to delve into as a group?
This is Tina from Delaware. So we are a small state, and so it has been easier for me to connect, but I did find in our state, we have a group that meets that is stakeholders from different nonprofit organizations and the military and the veteran services every month. And I went this last month, and it was incredibly helpful. Not only the focus was mental health and veteran services, but it talked about families, it talked about services and different events coming up. So if you have something like that in your state, it's a good idea to try to attend or to be a part of that to make those community connections as well.
Excellent idea. Very helpful. Well, I really don't think that anybody is going to object to get off a few minutes early, huh? What do y'all say? Yes? No?
Sounds good.
All righty. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for attending. We had a really diverse group, and I was really glad to see everybody here. And I'm so happy that you were all with us. And
Thank you. Bye.
We'll send you out those links that we promised, and we'll see you next month. Same time, same station. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.